I grew up by the sea, splashing in the water and playing in the sand, but there have always been other beach entertainments to delight us too.
Now, everyone knows this chap. Haha, yes, Punch. And together with his friends, they've been entertaining children for years, and they've been firm favourites. It's almost pantomime with puppets, but its origins can be traced back to 16th century Italy, with traditions of commedia dell'arte. Yes, that's the way to do it.
Commedia dell'arte was a form of touring street theatre featuring stock characters portrayed by masks. Punch is an anglicisation of Pulcinella, a subversive servant character in the commedia. He became increasingly popular in Britain in the 18th century. But it wasn't until the 19th century that he developed into the form that we recognise today, with glove puppets and the additions of characters like his wife Judy and Toby the dog.
These shows became hugely popular with adults and children alike and became a mainstay of seaside entertainment throughout the last century. Now I'm here to meet a man who can tell me more about how these characters have captured our imaginations. He's called Paul and he's in here. Paul!
Hello.
Hello. Let me shake his hand. Hello, Mr. Punch. Can you do the funny voice as well?
It's the way to do it.
How long have you been a Punch and Judy man?
Professionally for 10 years, but I've been doing Punch and Judy on and off since I was 7 years old.
Gosh, really? Yeah. Who else have you got down there?
Right down here we have...
Let me have a look.
Yeah. We have Judy, Mr. Punch's wife. There's Judy. Say hello, Judy. There we go. There's Judy. Everybody's favourite. We have the crocodile.
Make it snappy.
Yeah. But originally there was no crocodile in the Punch and Judy show. It's only when it came back over in the Victorian times that they brought a crocodile into the show. So yeah, we got a crocodile. We can also bring some other characters in. This is Toby the dog.
Is he a new character?
No. He's very old. Originally it used to be a live dog, and they used to keep the dog by the side of the show.
Gosh, really? Yeah. So how has it changed over the years? Or has it changed over the years?
Not really. It's still slapstick comedy. You still got Punch, Judy, the baby, the policeman, and the sausages. But it's changed with like the politics of today. You've got different characters which you can put into it. For instance, say you could have, say, like the boxing routine. Back in like the 50s and 60s, you used to have two boxers. They used to come halfway through, do a boxing routine. You can change that now with a pair of boxing kangaroos. Different showmen use different puppets. When Star Wars was pretty big, they brought up Darth Vader into the Punch and Judy show. You can make it topical to the years as well.
Paul, thank you very much for talking to me today. I'm going to leave you, and please bring back some memories for me of just a little bit of the performance, okay?
Okay, all day,
okay,
yep.
Thank you.
Oh, that's the way to do it. Sausages. Whoops. Power trouble. Where is he? He's over there. He's over there. So where is he? Where is he? Stop it.
Punch and Judy is performance entertainment, a one-off holiday treat like the donkey rides along the beach. But for me as a child, it was the beach that gave me hours of fun playing in the sand.
Things have come a long way since the simple sandcastle. Nowadays, there are some amazing sights as mucking about on the beach has literally become an art form.
Sand sculpting is thought to date back as far as Egyptian times, with sand versions of the pyramids created before the real thing. Sadly though, the full story of the art is lost in, well, the sands of time. But what we do know is it's popular the world over and can date its origins to at least the 19th century. These photographs are believed to be the work of Philip McCord, an American sculpting between 1890 and 1910, who has been dubbed the father of sand sculpture. But Weston-super-Mare has its own history of sand sculpting, dating back to at least 1906.
That's a tradition that continues today with the annual Sand Sculpting Festival held here on the beach. And this year is very special because it's celebrating its 10th birthday, taking a look back at some of the themes over the previous years, like fairy tales and fun and games.
But what I really want to know is how they do it. Where do you start with all these huge pieces? So I'm catching up with this year's project manager, Steffi Plant.
Steffi, this is fantastic. It's mind-blowing. It really is. I mean, look at the sheer scale of it. Where do you start with something that size?
Well, technically, this is how we start off. The first step, you get 4 bits of wood together in a block, and we call it a form. And then you layer it inside with a layer of sand and water, and then you pat it down with a great big electrical machine called a whacker, which is a metal plate which vibrates it all down so it's compacted really, really tightly.
Yeah.
Then you add another block on top, and you do
I
exactly the
see.
same with the second form. Just like this one here took about 6 or 7 forms.
There's a good ton of sand there, isn't there?
There's a lot there. On the site in overall, we use 500 tons of sand.
Wow. And is it just literally sand and water?
Sand and water, that is all it is. With Western beach sand, we're quite lucky actually because it's irregularly shaped. It locks together really well and it's quite silty as well.
And how many sculptors will be working here?
It took 15 sculptors, the space of 8 days mainly, to carve the whole park.
It's quite a big site as well.
Yeah, it's not small.
I love the Aboriginal man
Yeah,
with the
he's
map
brilliant.
of Australia.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. You wouldn't think that's in sand.
You wouldn't think most of it was in sand.
Gosh, look at this. The diver swimming through the coral reef. That's fabulous.
Now I'm off to join Rachel Stubbs, who is putting the finishing touches on a tea party.
Hi, Rachel.
Hello.
How long have you been sculpting in sand and how did you get into it?
I've been carving in sand for about 3 years now. I started when I was about 15.
What is it about sand? Why do you like working in sand? Because really it doesn't last. You're not really leaving a legacy, are you?
It is sad when you see a piece demolished or something, but it's also, that's what we love about it, to know that we can create something and then it will be gone and it will be part of the beach again or part of nature again. And
Sure.
that's a really nice aspect of sand sculpture, I think.
Are you going to let me have a go?
Yes.
Well, how do you start? What do you do?
Because this one's quite small, we're just going to go for this one. We'll just
going
do
for
it, yeah. So if you want to just take it all and have a go.
Oh. Would you just patch that up with a bit of wet stuff like that?
Yeah, we just add that back on.
You do have to have a very light touch, don't you?
Yes, yes. It's quite a delicate medium to work in.
I do a big cherry. I can kind of get the feel of it, though.
You're doing quite well.
Well, I'll just finish this little cherry off and make it a little bit better. It's not so much about messing around in the sand for me as don't mess it up. But no matter what level you are, you know, everyone loves to play around in the sand. It's part of the fun of the beach, and that will continue to endure for as long as that tide